an unprecedented move from the EU to reject a budget outright, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's the first time ever the Commission decides to reject a draft budget. And the reason they can do it is because back in 2013, in the height of the sovereign debt crisis, the European Commission decided to equip itself with what's called the Stability and Growth Pact, which means it can scrutinise Eurozone member states' budget before they actually go live to make sure the stability of the Eurozone is kept safe. We all remember a couple of years ago when there was a lot of rumours that Greece could have to leave the Eurozone. That didn't happen, but yesterday in Strasbourg what did happen is the Commission decided to reject this budget and send it back to Rome for further checking. Now, speaking to reporters yesterday in Strasbourg was the Latvian Commissioner, the Vice President of the European Commission, that's Vladis Dombrovskis, and he said, today, for the first time, the Commission is obliged to request a euro area country to revise its draft budgetary plan. He said, we see no alternative. He said the clarifications from the Italian government were not adequate. He said the Italian government was openly and consciously going against the commitments it had already made. And speaking beside him in Strasbourg was Pierre Moscovici, that's the Finance Commissioner for the European Commission. He used to be a Finance Minister of France, and back then he himself was actually very critical of European Commission scrutinising the French budget. But yesterday he said debt is an enemy of the people, it's an enemy of growth, and it's an enemy of the economy. He said he wanted to seek dialogue with the government in Rome, and he said that's why he spent 2 days yesterday in Rome. But because the Commission was not satisfied with the letter sent by the Finance Minister in Italy, Giovanni Tria, this Tuesday, they had to take that step.
All right, so that's what the EU thinks of Italy's draft budget. How does Italy respond now to that rejection?
Well, we already saw their response yesterday, Giuseppe Conte, saying that the government had no plan B. And we also saw the head of Cinque Stelle, Luigi Di Maio, take to Facebook to express how he felt. He said, we won't be giving up because technocrats who are pro-banks and pro-austerity don't like our budget. He said the reason that technocrats in Brussels don't like the budget because it was drafted in Rome and not over in, or not here in Brussels. But as Vladis Dombrovskis said yesterday, the ball is now in the court of the Italian government. They have 3 weeks to get back to the European Commission. They'll have to sit down, open up their Excel sheets again. And if not, the European Commission could go as far as sanctioning and punishing the Italian government. But as Pierre Moscovici said yesterday, that is not on the table for the moment. First, it's dialogue.